Welcome to the first episode of Whattchune.
What a tune.
Whattchune?
Not what a tune.
Oh, fuck that.
What a tune. It all came from the 1975 performance of Ariana Grande's. Is it Grande?
Yeah. What else would it be? Ariana Grande? The Rio Grande? American ass way of pronouncing it.
Ariana Grande's song, Thank You Next. And at the end of performing the cover, he just patted himself on the back. He was like, what a tune. And I thought it was so hilarious. I was like, oh, man. So now every song or any record that is dope, I'll put it on my IG story and I say, what a tune.
And I listen to most of them.
It's pretty good.
So speaking of listening to most of your recommendations,
Yes.
the way it works with Josh and I is he'll recommend something, and a good 2 years later, I'll forget about it, listen to it, and be like, Josh, have you heard of this thing?
Yeah, and I'm genuinely upset about it because it's almost like, oh man, it's not it goes beyond like, oh, your friend not listening to your advice about something real.
It's not just the disrespect.
It's like it's always
worse.
Disrespectful. But we have run into this situation just recently. It's Maggie Rogers.
Maggie Rogers. You know, originally when you told me, I wasn't impressed. And honestly, even after listening to Light On recently,
Yeah.
I didn't like Alaska as much. But after giving the album a few listens, I love Alaska.
I feel bad for Alaska though because Alaska's like been out on like 3 different releases now.
Yeah.
So I think it might be like all right, we get it.
I mean, this is her first major outing though, which is
And
what our
the
next
production,
topic
that's
is.
one thing that sucks about Alaska on this one is like the production doesn't fit anymore. I don't think because
yeah, I think that's true.
I think it's
I think
kind of
that's
like,
true.
you know,
A little bit more stripped, whereas the other songs are more like structured, kind of
so yeah.
bombastic.
What are your overall thoughts? I mean, you're like several listens in.
Yeah, several listens in. I'm perfectly pleased. I love the album.
Mm-hmm.
Because remember, I was coming in based on, I've heard Lied On as a single, which is a smart decision. And it is. It's a crowd-pleasing, people-pleasing single.
Yeah.
But it opened the door for her, I think, in a big way. And I think, which is what we'll get into,
Mm-hmm.
I think the rest of the album kind of fulfilled that role, too. I think the album as a whole is just as good as Lied On is as a single.
You mean like it's consistent? Is that what you're
It's
saying?
consistent, and I was as happy to listen to the whole album as I was to listen to Lied On repeat for like a month before it came out.
Got it. I think my issue with it is kind of a similar one to the 1975 album, which also full of what a tunes.
I'll have to have another whole episode
Well,
on that because I
episode
feel
on
the
that.
same way. I feel like I would listen to the entire thing all the way
I don't
through.
think that one's very consistent either. I think the singles are far and beyond better constructed songs, you know? I mean,
that's
obviously
the point of a single though, but
yeah, no. But so here's the thing.
Yeah,
Here's the thing. It's like with me, Maggie Rogers came on like a freaking lightning bolt in pop music. Like when Alaska came out and then that EP shortly after came out, like songs like Dog Years, On and Off, they just showed like a new, like it was like a breath of fresh air of pop production, which is weird because like usually there's these like indie pitchfork bands that are like saying that they're pop bands, but they're really not. They're indie bands.
yeah.
Maggie Rogers was a pop artist with like indie tendencies.
Yeah.
That,
That's true.
but was
That's very
still,
true.
but it was still like something that could be on the radio and feel good, but also like you wouldn't feel like
cheesy
or like
listening to it.
You wouldn't say, oh, Maggie Rogers is my guilty pleasure.
Yeah.
In the same way I would say that
Carly Rae
Rae
Jepsen. Yeah.
like Emotion was an amazing album. In my opinion, I think it was really great, but I wouldn't go up to
He wouldn't blast that.
I wouldn't put it. Yeah, I wouldn't be like, well, I would blast it on the streets, but I wouldn't tell everybody that's a great record.
Which is interesting too. We should talk about that sometime.
But this whole
Like,
episode
why?
is going to be us talking about other episodes. No, but yeah, like I'm disappointed in this album currently because it feels too clean. Like it feels too like overproduced for what the aesthetic was leaning towards. So even a song like Light On it's a beautiful song, beautifully constructed song, but
I would agree with that, but again, I wasn't coming in with the mindset from that kind of stripped down EP artist. I was coming in from Light On, which is okay. Here's gonna be this fucking
Oh yeah.
you know, pop artist, and I loved that though. I was happy about that.
That's what they. I mean, that's what they made it for, I guess.
I don't know. I think there's still, even though there's not that indie sensibility, I think like her personality, the whole vibe is still more indie.
Oh,
It's not a
yeah.
Katy Perry album, it's still like
Definitely not.
earthy.
I think okay, that's a great point. The earthiness. I feel like that was lost a little bit. Like it was there,
A
but
little bit, but I think it was there enough to uphold like what I liked about her as an artist.
but the things, with the earthiness that stayed was like the melodic choices.
Mm-hmm.
I think like she didn't go down the full Taylor Swift like just
Right.
singing the first and thirds of the chords and stuff,
Yeah.
which I'm happy about, but I miss the earthiness in the production. Not necessarily like the drums were too like tight or clean, but on songs like Alaska or like Dog Years, you could hear like the way she used those samples from the outdoors
Mm-hmm.
that I think made it sound more fresh that
Gotcha.
I missed.
Yeah.
Or even like on Dog Years, like there's like a percussion part in the beginning it sounds like a tambourine, but it's like you can tell it's like it might be like leaves,
Some weird shit.
some Maggie Rogers things,
Yeah.
and like I felt that was a little bit missing.
I would agree with that, but I also don't think I would like the album as much as a pop album if that had been the case. I feel like if that were the case, I would have been like, oh, it's a pretty good pop indie album instead of it's a great pop album.
I feel like there's something authentic in her
Mm-hmm.
image and vibe that
There is, yeah.
makes me happy to support.
Yeah.
Gonna see her in Birmingham, so I'm excited about that.
I'm
You're
gonna
going to
be out of town, yeah, when she's in Sacramento. Don't laugh.
You're just gonna be, seeing the world or whatever.
I guess.
I'm gonna be seeing the world through Maggie Rogers'
Yeah.
eyes.
Arguably the same.
Yeah, probably. She says she has like what's that thing where you like see colors?
Oh,
Yeah.
synesthesia.
She says she has it. I'm gonna try to steal those powers, bro.
Yeah. I don't want to get into that. I'm kind of a skeptic. I'm a critic. I'm kind of an asshole about shit like that. I'm like, okay.
Okay,
All right.
X-Men. Okay. Okay, Jean Grey. You're good. That's funny, man. That's ridiculous.
Well, the next thing I wanted to get into, which was why I got this explanation from you as to why maybe you didn't like the album as much as I did.
Uh-huh.
I've been noticing this a lot recently with album versus playlist culture,
Sure.
especially with the rise of streaming. We're in such a place now where, people don't listen to a whole album. And that's the way albums are still made. You make an album, 10 to 12 songs,
Yeah.
and you make an album, but people don't listen to it that way. So my initial thought was, oh, maybe he's disappointed because of his own expectations. Maybe it didn't live up to just a playlist hit after hit piece of work.
Yeah. I don't know if that's why. Yeah, because to me, I do want to talk about this artist and playlist thing because I'm a huge playlist maker. You know that. Like,
yeah,
I make
I'm almost exclusively an album person.
Yeah. I mean, I love going through albums and stuff, but I almost like track my months by my playlist.
Mm-hmm.
So that's
Which
a cool
I also
thing.
love, though.
Yeah. But like I don't think that's my issue with the Maggie Rogers thing.
Mm-hmm.
Like, the issue with the Maggie Rogers thing is, and it might have just been an issue of me having expectations of somebody that it should never have had. Like, just let them
In general.
execute and
Yeah.
then judge it after
Yeah.
the fact. But I like seriously felt like this could be a Frank Ocean type talent
Level, yeah.
of art, like
Gotcha.
execution. Like, I thought she was gonna come out with her Channel Orange,
Mm-hmm.
or at the very least, like her SZA's
Control. Mm-hmm.
something like that. Even though the SZA's thing was like I think it was her sophomore album, but
It was her first like label
big
release,
one.
though. Yeah.
Yeah. But I thought it was gonna be like that. So that was a little bit. I think that's it. Like that. It's the reason I'm disappointed is my fault.
As per every disappointment in life, usually.
Yeah, it's a. But I really felt that. I was like, dude, there's a glow to this lady. There's a glow to her talent. Like,
Something funny about calling Maggie Rogers a lady. Hey, lady.
yeah. Well, like, there's something special about her. Like in terms of.
I still think that's true. I think like it's like I texted you earlier. I think there was a lot more potential in her than the album showed,
Mhm.
but that didn't detract from the album for me.
Yeah.
Like it doesn't all need to all be. It doesn't need to be like.
It doesn't make me want more.
Yeah. Yeah.
Which, then they probably won.
Yeah. Right.
They probably got what they wanted. But to me, it's like, dang, it felt like a missed opportunity just because there are artists where like they do something and then you're like more like surprised.
Mm-hmm.
You're like, oh, that's great that you did something good because we weren't expecting that. You know what that was, like the Charlie Puth album.
Yeah.
I know you couldn't get into it, but it's like it was supposed to be trash coming from his first one.
Yeah. Right.
Like nothing good should have come out of that camp. But at least 3 of the 9 songs are Whattchunes. Which
comes back to the playlist thing.
Okay,
That's exactly why
fair.
It would go on a playlist and not you wouldn't speak of it like, as an album.
So so the question is, why don't people listen to albums anymore? Is that what you're saying?
Yeah, well, I mean, I think I know the answer is because, with streaming available, you don't have to like fight through the ones you don't like on first listen. But I can even my favorite artists, my favorite albums, I didn't love every song on the first listen. Mm-hmm. But I think that's one of the best things about it is, one, the more you listen to it, the more you grow to love it. And two, if you don't listen to whole albums, there are songs by some of my favorite artists that weren't the singles that aren't my favorite songs in the world that you would have missed.
Absolutely. Deep cuts.
Yeah, deep cuts. I think deep cuts are getting lost.
What the album serves as right now is the opportunity for the artist to experiment and like push the sounds without much, I don't know, risk, I guess, because they just know that they need to have the one hit song that gets on all the playlists.
That's fair. Yeah.
But like now, if the records label's gonna let you do 15, 20 songs like Drake did.
Mm-hmm. Well, see, I think that was a different case. I think that was a good use of it because what Drake did with More Life, he said it was a playlist, which I think like gave him that freedom of like, okay, don't expect a holistic, concise body of work. This is a piece of work. It's a playlist where you're probably going to listen and pick out your favorite songs and listen to those ones, which I'm okay with.
Yeah.
So I think that was a cool way to do it, and I think that's probably what a lot of artists are going to do in the future.
Well, going back to Maggie Rogers, I mean, I feel like the inverse is happening because listening through the album, right, my favorite song on there still like wasn't a single. Like that's the one that made on my playlist, Retrograde.
Oh, interesting. Yeah, that's a great one.
Oh, that's a
Whattchune.
I fucked up that harmony.
Oh, we're supposed to do a harmony?
No, I tried because I knew you were gonna go Whattchune, and I went
Whattchune.
Oh yeah. Anyways,
I just realized I've been talking like to the side of the mic,
oh,
which
yeah,
sounds fine.
Fix it. Yeah.
Like if I talk into the mic, it sounds a lot different. But then I'm like fucking like, yeah, totally. And I think that fucking. So it'll just sound like reverby for this first one.
Whatever.
What I will say though is I think Maggie Rogers is one of the best female artists of the past 5 years and put out, in my opinion, one of the best female-led albums of the past 5 years.
I think the running theme of how I feel about this is, and this is a problem I have with even just people as a whole, is like, I like the idea of you more than I like you, like it's messed up. Yeah,
that is messed up.
And I'm not, yeah, what's wrong with you? And, admittedly, I'll say this applies to me too.
Yeah.
Myself.
Yeah.
Like I look in the mirror, I'm like, yeah, that's a pretty cool guy. I'm like, I'm just all right.
Like, well, what other female artists then have you been in your top 5?
The past 5 years.
Past 5 years, yeah. What are your top 5?
Just full records. Well, I think
even artists. Even artists.
Artists.
Female artists. Past 5 years.
That's tough, just because I don't think I've digested enough artists' multiple albums. Just because everyone's only going to come out like one every 3 years.
But again, even if we're going to get off the album thing, if you're just talking what's just favorite artists, like even if they put out their 3rd album or whatever.
Sure. Well, yeah, I think
favorites?
I think we can agree on the first one. Miss Casey. Oh, Spacey Casey.
Spacey Casey.
Dude, Spacey Casey.
Fucking
Casey Musgraves.
Rainbow?
Yeah.
I cry every time.
You cry?
I cry every time.
I get it. I can't even put into terms why it's so good. Can you? Because it's like on the first listen.
I will. Well, I'll say I'm not. You know me. I'm more of a music guy than a lyric guy. But those lyrics fucking blow me away.
Get you.
They get me.
I haven't listened. I haven't read the lyrics. I'm caught up. I'm the opposite. I used to be a lyric guy. Now I'm just. What does this sound feel like? I got real hippie in the past 2 years.
Good. That's where I'm at.
Yeah, but even the first time I heard Space Cowboy.
Mm.
Oh my gosh.
I mean, I think what she did is well, we know what she did. She was a more country artist, and she played into the pop thing a little bit more. But I think more than just like, you know, using genre as a defining tool, I think that, I don't know, it opened her up more melodically, like in her writing.
I can see that. I want to get that shirt like with the album cover on it. Have you seen that? Dude, like, give me 30 days. I'm rocking a Spacey Casey shirt just every day. This is a new revelation for me. But even our Whattchune King, John Mayer, would put her on this list. The Phoebe Bridgers.
Oh my God.
The Phoebe Bridgers. Because you know what's messed up is I found her through like listening to Julian Baker a lot. And I thought in my mind Julian Baker was going to be like the person on this list for me. I don't think so. It's Phoebe Bridgers.
You can't. Julian Baker's on your list. I know she's on mine. She's definitely on yours.
On my top 5?
Okay, is Phoebe Bridgers above Julian Baker for you?
Here's the thing. Okay. Oh, this podcast is going to go another 15 minutes just about this conversation. Because, okay, if we're going to put out, okay, like Julian Baker came out with Sprained Ankle, right? 2015.
That was groundbreaking.
Opened the floodgates. Honestly. Floodgates. But, like, track by track, Phoebe Bridgers, even on the Boy Genius EP.
Here's I mean, what I'm gonna say in anticipation of what you're gonna say.
Sure.
I think it's on the same level. I don't think the Julian, even but track by track, I think they're equal playing fields.
Well, here's my problem.
Sprained Ankle
is a masterpiece.
Yeah.
My issue is the second record. What's it called?
Fair enough. Turn out the lights.
Turn out the lights.
Fair enough. Yeah.
Full of fillers.
I can't say fillers.
Okay.
Not as groundbreaking as Sprained Ankle, but not fillers. Come on.
I can't name 5 songs on that one.
That's because you didn't listen to it enough. Come back to the album thing.
No, I did. I really did. Real quick, I just want to say that Quinn was shitting on buying these mic stands at first. You're sick, dude.
They're pretty sick. I'm not an aesthetic guy, but they're pretty dope.
They're pretty sick. Anyways, okay, going back. Julian Baker. Okay.
But here's the thing.
Sprained Ankle,
first album.
10 out of 10.
10 out of 10. Is it? You gotta edit again.
No, just say it. Don't edit this out. He's not sure if it's called Stranger in the Alps. I'm pretty sure it's Strangers in the Alps.
Edit this out.
It's the Phoebe Bridgers album, Strangers in the Alps.
And that was her first outing, her first major label outing.
Sure.
Album. Same as Sprained Ankle.
Yeah.
The sophomore slump. That's the thing. You can't expect.
I don't see us. You're right. Okay, that's fair.
You can't expect Julian Baker to have 2 straight albums of nothing but groundbreaking.
Yeah, we were.
That's your same problem you had with.
Yeah, we were though.
With Maggie Rogers, then that's your own expectations.
No, she put that on us. That was not our fault.
She put that on us.
You know
with
what?
Her greatness.
You know why it's different? Because Maggie Rogers came out with 1 song, and so if I was like, yeah, this chick's gonna be about this, like the next biggest thing, like in art, not even music, like in art, whatever, blah blah blah. That's on me. You give me 9 tracks and Funeral Pyre,
and
no, that's your fault if you don't come up.
What's Distant Solar Planets?
Yeah.
Oh my God!
You give me 11 tracks of pure bliss. And you don't come with the heat the next time?
There was heat, though. It wasn't a pure album of heat, but there was heat.
The best songs that came on Turn Off the Lights or Turn On whatever.
Turn Out the Lights.
You see how I feel about this? I'm so upset.
That bastard.
We're like, you could tell she wrote it from the early on.
Yeah.
Which was
Appointments.
Okay. But then the one about the electrician. We should have a list next time. Amazing song.
Yeah. I guess back to the point. I will say.
No. Okay. Let me go back.
Hit it.
No.
Hit it.
Oh, Julian Baker to me had a sophomore slump. To the rest of the internet, no. Everybody loves that album. I think it's just me. So it's me problem again. But Phoebe showed on on the Boy Genius EP,
Mm-hmm.
she was the MVP on that one.
See, again, I would argue the same thing. I think she
Me and My Dog.
Julian Baker are on the same level.
Okay, like their feature tracks on that record, Me and My Dog versus Stay Down.
Not Stay Down. What's the fuck?
Stay Down.
Is it Stay Down?
That's
Like,
hers.
the
That's
bridge.
Yeah, with the end, with the big end.
I don't remember what the name of the song is, but the whole moment on that entire EP was the da-da-da-da-da. Just those few notes is the best thing on the album for me.
Oh, dude.
With the harmony. And that's a Julian Baker melody, 100%.
Yeah, that is.
And that's the thing is like, that's the thing about Julian Baker's. I again, like I said, I love Phoebe Bridgers on that EP as much as Julian Baker, but just those few notes pushes Julian Baker over the edge for me.
I think
Melodically.
like Me and My Dog is pure songwriting, just a show of professionalism. I think that in this part of my life, I think that's where I get the most pleasure.
Mm-hmm. I think I do too, but I think melody still is like pure melody is my guilty pleasure.
Yeah,
you know? Like pure melody is my guilty pleasure.
I can see that. Like those like moments of just like
those moments, yeah,
transcendence.
Those moments.
I see that. Because that's the thing those are the things that made Sprained Ankle so important to me. Those like moments of like melodic, just you're in heaven for a few seconds.
Yeah, that is what it's like. God, that's fucking deep, bro.
Dude, right?
Shit, bro.
Yeah, it is deep. What a tune.
Well, it's probably. I mean, on that note, should we wrap up?
Yeah, I think.
Actually,
Whoa,
you and I haven't talked about this. I've had my Phoebe Bridgers awakening that you had since we last spoke.
Oh, yeah, interesting.
I have. You know what helped? We'll push it over the edge was this recent The Better Oblivion Community Center.
Gosh.
That.
Full of Whattchunes.
Yeah, full of Whattchunes.
But the Whattchunes moments were Phoebe.
Mm-hmm.
And,
100%.
And for her,
1,000%.
And for that to happen when stacked up against like
Conor Oberst,
who is a legend in himself, especially in the scene, like that's crazy.
Mm-hmm.
That's
basically
basically
it speaks
like
to her abilities and talent.
That's basically like, this is a basketball analogy.
Fine.
It's basically if like young Kobe Bryant was like playing with MJ, like maybe like old Wizards MJ.
Yeah.
But like it was Kobe putting up 38.
Yeah.
That's how it is, and like that's for her. That's sick. That's a dream.
Yeah.
Real quick, last moment. I already know the answer to this, but if you could do a band,
Dave Grohl.
Oh, okay.
Why'd you even ask?
Yeah, but like where you felt like you had to put up just as much as he did, because that's a different pressure.
It is a different pressure. Holy shit.
Because you say Dave Grohl, I'd love to be in a band with Dave Grohl. Yeah, of course, I'd love to be. Oh, I can't say the band anymore. Let's not talk about that. That's a bummer, dude. Anyway, but that for you guys that know, that would be the band.
Time to think about. Shit. I don't know. I don't think about that.
Yeah, I think that's another episode.
It's another podcast. That's a great question, though. That's a great fucking
because you'd have to put up, and Phoebe Bridgers put up her part of the share.
Yeah. Shitter.
No, shitter. Share.
Oh.
We need to learn to speak clearer on this. Share. Yeah.
Hey. What a tune.
Dude, what a tune. Good stuff. Just want to say thank you to everybody that watched all of this.
But if you put up with all of this, you're a real friend.
You're a real friendo.
That's unbelievable.
I might not listen to all of this.
Yeah. And we were here.
Hey, man, what a tune.
What a tune.
What a tune.
We'll see you guys next time.
Sweet.